Randwick, race 2, number 1, Cylinder.
Oh, you're back with Cylinder.
That's $3.
Cylinder the outside of Red Resistance. Cylinder with the head in front. Red Resistance trying to fight back. He can't. Cylinder too good. Good tough performance. Cylinder beat Red Resistance.
Western Knight, it probably wins.
Here's Western Knight down the centre with a booming run. Western Knight all over the top of Export Man. Takes the lead. A brilliant win by Western Knight. Beat Export Man by a head and 2 lengths.
In this race, I'm siding with Elliptical. The main reason being Elliptical 230 a place, Jacquino 230 a win. So you can play each way here and you'll get a win on Elliptical. Where I'm leaning, and there's already been money for it, a 1x4 play, so heavy place bet, small win. Uncle Bryn. I'm with Imperataz. Brings its best form, it wins.
Race 9, number 2, Roots. Then we move to Flemington. Race 2, number 5, Timor.
All up, I think Prawns 11 wins.
Yeah, race 2, number 3, Prawns 11. It was going to be $1.22. It's into $1.20, and that was Penrith to beat Brisbane Broncos.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jesus. I'm here with Brownie, and this is your Front and Centre podcast, your home of beer betting, ball sports and bants since 2023. And I think we're done here. That was bad, really, really bad. And
oh yeah, we got to cop it.
We say it every week. There's plenty of winners outside the podcast.
There are.
Had a really good day Sunday at the pub at the St. George with a few mates.
We enjoyed the pub.
Pikey delivered on that day. Unfortunately, when we needed him on Saturday, didn't quite deliver. J-Mac, Imperataz was horrendous.
Stopped riding.
I was sitting there and I was watching it on the couch. Yeah. And when you're there and things start going in slow motion and you're feeling really good about life, and then you start going, oh no. Oh no.
It wasn't a good weekend, Novak. But the good thing is, there's another weekend coming.
There is. You're only as good as your last tip, right?
That's exactly right.
And we're shit house, so it can only go up from here.
Hey, I said in the last podcast that give your tips out, because you got Pikey winning heaps. I was like, give your tips out, then everyone can jump off. And hopefully people did. So you're welcome, everybody.
I'm getting a lot of heat. A lot of heat because of the pyramid tips we're putting out.
Yeah, listen.
And look,
you also called that because you said there was something up.
I know, there was something up. It was a rort. I'm like, you can't take the whole bet on. And we've gone through the tapes, listeners, and Brownie's given out 5 $1.20 pops in 6 podcasts, and they've all lost.
Hey, that just means I'm due.
John Rahm lost. You gave 2 out in 1 week, and they both lost.
Yeah, shout out to Christopher Mearns for that information about John Rahm. I've come in with some facts, and then we didn't even get on him, but he still didn't.
My issue with you is you don't come with your facts. You got one job: do the weather check.
You wait.
Do the weather check, because I did the weather check on the cricket. You didn't do the weather check on Penrith, and it got us rolled by 1 point. I got 57 messages. 57! During the game, I'm getting cooked by all my mates for your shit tipping.
I'm ready. I'm ready for this week. I've come with stuff. But speaking of the cricket, big win by WA.
Oh, enormous win by WA. Yep. Inglis.
Even bigger night out from friend of the podcast, Milko.
Yeah, well, Milko loves it, so shout out to Milko. Milko was very active on Twitter wanting us to go for the pyramid again. Yeah. And, Milko, we might have to just get Milko to do the pyramid for us. The man's on fire.
He can just call in each week and we'll just
what a demolition job. Inglis, Bancroft, Agar, first game since the semi-final in the Big Bash. He's flown all over the world. He got absolutely dominated.
So he's going back to India, right?
For the one-dayers,
Good by him. Good. He showed something for the one day.
I think he was owed that after they kept him out of the Big Bash. Yeah. He was owed that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the Aussies have started well as well.
Yeah, well, Khawaja's just continuing its magnificent form. So good to see he got 100 on day one. Obviously, we've finally got a pitch that plays fair.
That's what happens, doesn't it?
Obviously, top order not as great. Travis Head should have been out really early. Keeper dropped an absolute sitter. I reckon you would have just about caught that.
Well,
I'm backing you in.
I would have caught it. because I'm big on catching. We've
I know.
discussed this when we were
with
talking
the hands
about
up,
BBL. Yes.
perfect spot. Good for Cam Green. He's 49 not out, and he's looking solid. So he's coming to age. He's going to be a very good player, as we all know.
Hopefully the Aussies can get up there. Man United got absolutely pumped. They got pantsed by Liverpool 7-0.
Well, is that like Liverpool just turned it on, or I don't know much about soccer.
I don't know, but 7-0 for a team like Man United who are pushing. I don't think they're going to finish top at all. I don't think it's possible.
Well, all we know is Arsenal, Man City, isn't it?
Yeah, Arsenal, Man City. But Man United, they're there. They're third.
Yeah.
And they get pants 7-0. Liverpool, useless this year.
Well, that happens, doesn't it?
Anyway.
I have very little care factor.
Anyway, and another news item of the week. Everyone wants to be on Nat 5 for the Common.
No.
Are we backing him? You know what he was? He was 101 or something, and he's in at $67.
This is just
favourite thing of yours. There'll be a nice little cash out there.
No, absolute disgrace. Like, let's be serious, listeners. This is just a Fremantle beat up.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Maybe because the unicorn was out with concussion for 1 week, they needed to talk something up. And look, he looks all right, but no.
As soon as he gets a yips again.
Well, it's not even the yips. As soon as he bends over, he's going to crack something.
Just old man Fife.
Well, mate, he's done his yards, so give it to him.
Fair point. Again, just a quick another shout out to Penrith. Thanks for that. But we've got
Well, they got the job done tonight when we weren't on them,
Yeah,
so that's awesome.
Jerks. We got a beer to review, Novak, and I bought you one of my personal favourites, and you said you're not a fan.
Well, no, I said it's not one of my faves.
So tell the people, what do we got?
Well, we've got a goat, a mountain goat. Yeah. So established 1997, 4.2. Very enjoyable beer. I might say very debatable.
See, that's where I like them, because they haven't talked themselves up. They've said very enjoyable. They haven't said the greatest beer in the world. Very enjoyable.
Well, Mountain Goat beer made in Australia, part of Asahi Beverages.
Well, that
80 North Street, Richmond.
That doesn't make sense. Asahi's from Japan, right?
Yep.
Okay.
But goatbeer.com.au.
There's not much else on there. They're a simple beer. Established 1997.
Yeah, I did say that, but
yep.
I don't like this can. I mean, the goat's on there, but
you want me to go back to the artwork cans? That hasn't been working out well for us.
I think we need to go back to a 7%er.
All right. Well, I do. I've got one for next week. Don't worry. I've got one planned. I just need to find where it is.
No, Scarborough Cellars has got to have some 7%ers.
Yeah, but the one I want, which has been talked up to me, and if you like it, there's a friendship on the line for somebody.
All right.
So,
friend of the podcast was telling me to get on the Skywalkers. And I do know them.
I'll note that down.
If you can find them, get some Skywalkers, then we're going to have an enjoyable podcast.
All right. Well, let's crack this puppy and let's get your honest review.
Oh, well, that was tick number 1. Didn't just get covered in bong water like last week. There is still 2 bong beers if anyone wants them.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the year, we'll have the party and people can try them.
Oh, you don't want to try them, listeners. All right. Yeah, look, not bad.
Yeah,
not bad. Stock standard.
Yeah.
Like nothing earth shattering.
Yep.
6.5.
So you got CBC beers on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
CBC beers on top of that.
Okay, that's fine. I love the CBC beers.
Yeah.
The CBC beers for me.
6.5. I think because we've had got some feedback. My take on the hop hog wasn't great, but I'm a Biggie Juice player, not the hop hog.
For people playing at home, last episode when we couldn't figure out the beer that we didn't like, we actually didn't mind it, and it was hop hog. So,
and I did get some feedback.
Hog.
My beer taste can go in the bin, and don't worry, I accept that.
Yeah, carbon dryer.
But look, that's okay. But I think that's sitting number 2 so far.
Yeah,
because I think the 6. Oh, Mark, you should really be writing these down somewhere.
I have them somewhere on my phone, but and I'm going to start posting this on Instagram and Twitter so people can see. But we just know that your most hated one was the
risky business.
Yes, and then it was the bong beer.
Yeah, then the bong beer.
And then
there's still one risky business left. I'm kind of tempted to try it again just to go head to head with the bong beer.
Who knows where this pod's going to go? Maybe you can.
Oh no!
Maybe
no
at the
way.
end.
No way, mate. I think next week if we get no tips, I'll do a double funnel of bong beer and risky business.
That'll be real fun.
If I put up a 0 again, I'm confident I'm not putting up a 0. If I put up a 0, you can go make a funnel next week, and I'll have a bong beer mix risky business.
Right, okay, done. I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm kind of scared now. I'm actually really scared. There's going to be footage of me on Twitter spewing over my balcony or something.
All right, well, let's move on to this. The NBL finals are still going.
Still going, ladies and gentlemen. Still going.
So all I know is that we're at the pub the other day and you showed me the first quarter.
It was 0-1 after 4 minutes.
Yep. It wasn't pretty.
But Friday was awesome.
Yep.
So I was feeling good about myself on Friday. Breakers looked awesome. Brantley was doing a number on Cooks. Brown Jr. was flying. You know, McDowell White was heavily involved as well. And then obviously the Kings went nowhere.
Yep.
Cooks was a bit sore. Simon went good. He went really big for the Kings. But DJ wasn't going great. Walton was down. Buford was down. Everyone was down.
Yep.
And I was happy.
Yep.
I was feeling good. I go, right, we're going back over the ditch. 2-0 up. We're looking great. The away team curse hit them hard.
Yeah.
So they just didn't come to play at all. Walton got injured. Cooks got hurt. And it just didn't go great. Like, McDowell White was nowhere. They got 33 points in the last quarter, and they had 41 points for the first 3.
Yeah, right.
They had 20 points total in quarters 1 and 3.
Yeah, well, that's not going to help you win games, is it?
Brantley and Brown Jr. again leading the way, 21 and 20 points. So I've been talking them up, and look, they're delivering for me.
Yep.
McDowell White was down, and that was sort of the issue because he's a real player for him. He's in free agency as well, so hopefully the Wildcats can put some feelers out for him.
Nice.
He'd be fantastic. But for the Kings, Quatnoy really stood up. So
Big fan
obviously Quat came over from Cairns. We spoke about him last week, and he put up 20 points. DJ got warm. His 3-ball started dropping, so he hit 4 from 6. So he got 17 points. So as we said, he's the bit of the barometer. When he's up and about, Kings are up. So it's 1-1. We're literally, nothing has changed.
Yeah,
we're literally, we've been 6 weeks, we've been following NBL, and we're literally in the exact same spot. Yeah. I still think Breakers are going to win. I still think Brown Jr. is going to be the MVP. And I'm pretty confident they're going to win on Friday.
Yeah.
Cooks Jr. is not fit. Yeah. And I mean, good on him. He's now going to Washington, but he's not fit.
Yeah.
Walton Jr. is less than 50-50 to play.
Yeah.
I'm backing my boys to get it done.
So we're not going to a Game 5 on a Wednesday?
Well, we did bring that up last week. And obviously, Sydney, maybe it's booked out. Who knows? Yeah. But, I mean, gee whiz. Apparently, the Peanuts on Twitter have been saying, you know, it's sold out, 13,000 tickets. It's like, well, you'd like to bloody hope so.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd like to hope so to get around your team. So, basically, where we're looking at, I'm thinking 2-year deal for Cooks. His mind's going to be, obviously, I want to win, but does he really want to get hurt before he's going to the NBA?
This is my chance.
Exactly. Yep. Like, you'd have to have something in the back of your head. Obviously, you want to go for your team. Mm-hmm. You want to go 1,000%. But imagine if you blow your knee. Yeah. Your career's over.
Yeah. Well, your NBA career's over anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Feeling a bit of Brad Smith vibes. Poor Brad Smith. Superstar.
That's a
full forward genius. Obviously, 2-year deal with the Eagles. Does his ACL first season scratch match. Comes out. Gets fit. Second year, first scratch match. Second ACL.
Poor Bradley.
Poor bugger.
Then didn't he go back and kick 100 again?
I'd say so, yeah.
Superstar.
Absolute genius. But nothing's changed. Yeah. Obviously, we don't need to keep rehashing things. Yeah. Brantley, Brown Jr., McDowell White. Bring it. Cooks, Walton, DJ. It's the same as we've been saying. Yeah. I'm sticking fat. I've been sticking fat for 6 weeks. I'm not jumping off.
Well, we can be sure of one thing. By this time next week, we'll have a winner.
We will.
So at least then we can talk about that.
I know. Then NBL will finally be done.
Yes, and then
the finals seem like they've been going for half a season.
The fact that they took that week off, dumb.
I know.
It was 12 days. It was almost
12
2
days.
weeks.
It was to get Sydney fit. I'm telling you. #rig.
Outright NBL be better and just keep flowing on.
Yeah.
You need to keep that vibe up.
Because when the final started, it was awesome.
Quick.
All those games in the year was fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's got like the Big Bash. The Big Bash went on forever.
Yeah.
It went on forever.
Yeah.
And by the end, they're lucky the final was in Perth and they got a full house.
Yeah.
And the grand final was a ripper because everyone was all Big Bashed out.
Yeah.
And the Big Bash had all that momentum and everyone was off the test team.
Yep.
And it just went for too long.
Yep. Agreed. All right. So at least we've got that you're sticking with your initial thoughts.
No
and you're
need,
not
no
trying to
reason
change
to jump
that.
off.
So
I'm
that's
not much
good.
of a flopper or a cash outer. I generally stick to my guns. So
Annoyed that you're not a cash outer, but
No.
anyway. Anyway,
why bet if you cash out?
we
Scott?
do have some other stuff to talk about, and I feel like this is going to be fun. So we've got our AFL team previews to do this week. Sydney, West Coast, Western Bulldogs. I'm very much looking forward to this because I think I'm going to say some things that might upset you. Well, not upset you, that you're just going to disagree with.
That's pretty standard. You say things to upset me often.
That's the plan of the podcast.
Jesus.
So I'll run.
Is it though? I'm just passing on my opinions, and people just love them and hate them, and I just cop abuse. And then I cop abuse for your bad takes.
Well, hey, that just because I've got no friends and you've got lots.
Yeah, well, listeners, friends of the podcast, if you can give Brownie some
Twitter.
hate, just
hit the front and center podcast. on
absolutely
Twitter.
give it to him, please.
All right, so just quickly, average age, games played. We'll get through this real quickly. At the end of this as well, while I'm quickly going through this, if it's somewhere in your notes, because this is spur of the moment, if you do have a ladder anywhere, do you have a ladder?
I was going to save that for next week, but
Okay. Well, we've got footy. We'll have footy to talk about next week.
all right.
Find it while I go through this because I've got my ladder here. Anyway, Sydney are 24 and 1 years old, ranked 14th, and 69.5 games, ranked 8th. Ins and outs for Sydney in Will Edwards, category B rookie, Aaron Francis from Essendon, Jacob Constanti. The names are still Constanti. Yep. What is it?
You were right the first time.
Yeah, Constanti. Draft pick 20. Jaden Magor.
It's like Costanza, mate.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Constanti.
Jaden Magor, rookie draft.
Can't stand ya.
Caleb Mitchell, pick 40.
You need a wedgie like Costanza got by Can't Stand Ya.
Cameron Owen, rookie draft. Cooper Victory. Any relation to Ty? Draft pick 27. Out, James Bell delisted. Josh Kennedy retired. Sam Naismith delisted. Barry O'Connor delisted. Colin O'Riordan delisted.
Yeah,
I knew him. I knew him.
Friends of the podcast, we finally have an Irish name right.
Ben Ronk delisted. Cal Sinclair delisted. Is he back at Subi? I hope he is.
No.
Louis Taylor delisted. Louis Taylor, the man who cost me a Rising Star bet when he beat the Bont in the Rising Star. Anyway, that's who's in and out. Best 22.
Well,
who you got?
All right. I'll still need to try and find my ladder. It's in my inbox somewhere. But, all right. Best 22. Well, obviously made the granny last year. Does much change? No, it doesn't. So we got backline, Rampy, T. McCartan, Lloyd, Florent, P. McCartan, Blakey. Standard, solid.
Yep.
Really good.
Yep.
Centers, Dylan Stevens, Callum Mills, James Rowbottom. Half forwards, Errol Goulden, Buddy, Will Hayward.
Yep.
Papali, starting with Logan. They got to play him. Otherwise, he's gone.
Yep.
And Isaac Heaney.
Yep.
In the rucks, I've got Laddams in there at the moment because I believe Hickey's injured.
Yep.
So Laddams is in there. We got Luke Parker and your mate, Dropbox, Chad Warner. Then we got Ryan Clark, tagging role, Justin McInerney, Sam Reid, and Braden Campbell.
Yep.
Fox, I believe, is injured at the moment. He played, obviously, that really good grand final on Jeremy Cameron. And then I got Francis in the mix as well. There's plenty.
Yep.
There's plenty of others.
Yep.
And obviously, they're a contender. They're up there, like, top 4-ish, like 4th, 5th. There's not really much to say. Like, everyone knows what they are. Everyone knows where they're at. They're really in the mix. They're probably building from last year. The younger kids, Gouldham, Blakey, Dropbox, they're improving. So
Yeah.
I think they're a contender.
All right. This is why this is going to be fun.
Oh, here we go.
I've got a miss in the 8. Now,
How?
Okay, so I don't disagree with anything you said.
So how do they miss the 8 if they're getting better and they made the grand final
Yeah,
last
I knew
year?
exactly. I knew
You're not making any sense, Scott.
All right, I knew it was coming. So, sure, made a grand final, right?
Yep.
I think they overachieved last year by making a grand final, right? They have a good team. They have a good young team. I am not at all disputing that, right? You look at key forwards here. Buddy, he doesn't play.
Fair chance Buddy could be done before the end of the year, but they've got Logan McDonald, mate. He can step up.
So my point is, right, Sam Reid could go, like, as in injured. Is Logan McDonald ready?
Yeah, 100%
I don't think,
he is.
I personally don't think
But
he
has
is.
he had a chance to play?
Well, that's the reason. That's
but he's
why.
ready, mate.
Yeah.
He's ready to go.
So how can you be ready, AFL ready, when you've played, he played like 12 games?
No, mate. He's played like 30.
Yeah, I just think they've...
I'll fact check that, by the way.
I think they've kind of halted his progress for a bit. I like Logan McDonald. I think he's a good player. They've got a lot of really good small guys to kick goals as well, but I don't think that's going to be enough. You've said Laddams and Hickey. Now, Hickey, older, injury prone. Laddams doesn't excite me, right? Midfield's pretty good.
24 matches for Logan McDonald.
There you go. That was half.
That was pretty close.
Between both of us.
The midfield's stacked, mate.
Yeah, I'm with you, right?
And you know at SCG, the midfielders kick goals.
I'm with you. Harder draw, finishing second. So it's not so much about...
This is absurd, listeners. Listen to what we're hearing.
It's not so much about how many games they're going to win. I just think it's going to be that tight that everyone else will win as well. I'm telling you.
You're making no sense. Everyone's going to win as well. Well, that's not going to happen.
Well, I've got your mates later on, the Dogs making the 8, right?
That won't be happening.
But I've got Geelong winning a lot of games.
Yep. Melbourne winning a lot of games. Port winning a lot of games.
I'll bring up my ladder and
don't leave the ladder after.
I'll tell you what.
Given me some notice because I can't find my ladder.
Well, I'll tell you what I've actually got them doing. So I've got them on 13 wins, right?
Yeah, that's enough to make the 8.
I also have Collingwood on 13 wins, right?
They'll score. They'll get
who
more
are
than that
below
as well.
them. So I have Sydney 9th, Collingwood 10th, right? I've got Fremantle on 14 wins because you give them 12 wins straight away because they play 11 at home and they play West Coast twice.
You know that's wrong. They lost at home 3 times last year.
I think they're better.
Oh, hang on. So their young team's getting better, much like Sydney's is.
I think they have a better, younger forward line.
Oh, hang on. So they got Nat 5, who's literally on his last legs.
I think Tabernar is a better forward than Logan McDonald is right now.
Okay. We need to tune out now. This is now getting.
Do you think Sam Reid's a better?
I'd take Sam Reid over Tabernar.
Then you got Carlton.
Taberna's a crab, mate.
So
Sebastian, under the sea,
1, 2, 3,
under
4,
the sea,
5. So from 6th to 10th, there is one game and percentage. So this is what I'm saying, right? You can't have a conversation with you about stuff.
But you're just talking rubbish now.
How am I talking rubbish? They're a young team. They're
Swans?
young. Yes. They're young. I think they overachieved last year.
That's good, mate.
So you're saying, my opinion, they have ranked 14th in the league as the youngest side in the competition.
That's what you want.
They overachieved last year is my point.
But they've got all that
and you're saying, no, they
experience
didn't.
from
They
last
made the
year.
grand final. It doesn't matter if they made the grand final. My opinion is they overachieved.
Who should have made the grand final over them last year?
Melbourne are a better side
Melbourne
than
were
them.
done. Melbourne were done by the end of the year. Melbourne couldn't beat Freo at the MCG. They got pants by Freo
Melbourne
at the MCG.
Better side than them.
Well, they weren't.
Port Adelaide, injury-free, are a better side than Sydney.
No.
See, this is why you can't see anything but
I know, I can
what
see it. But
you want to
Port,
say.
but Port, you can't say that they're going to digress and make the grand final then miss altogether.
All right.
All right, side bet's coming on here. Side bet is coming up. What are you giving?
I told you I've got a game and percentage and they could finish 5th.
Yeah.
So, no.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I would love to see your ladder and how many wins you've got everyone.
If you had given me
and
some time.
If there's one win in between like 5th and 9th or 8th or something, I'm going to do that to you because you don't understand how close. I've gone through and But
it's close every year. Carlton missed out by a kick.
Yeah, so then why can't I have them anywhere from 5th to that? A kick the other way. This is just how I think it goes.
A 5th the other way is not 5 positions on the ladder.
I'm saying this year it might be.
No.
Because it'll be that close.
No, it won't.
All right. Once again, that's what opinions are for. Anyway, we'll move on.
Well, now I need to get my ladder, and you've given me no preview, so I can't back myself up because I don't have my data because you didn't warn me that we were doing ladders.
Then
do your research.
We'll move on to
do we have to?
A team that we can probably both agree on here is West Coast. So West Coast, they are, where are we? West Coast, 24.5 years ranked 9th, 74.3 games ranked 6th.
So you're saying that those stats are better than
the amount of experts that are saying that West Coast can make the 8 this year and blah blah blah, talk shit. Apparently, West Coast can make the 8, and they're going to win 11 home games. So, Bins, Jordan Baker, Category B rookie, Harry Barnett, draft pick 23, Kobe, Bergil, Tyrell Dewar, Category B rookie, Ruben Jinby,
our mate Jinby,
Elijah Hewitt, Jinby pick 9, Hewitt pick 14, Jaden Hunt from Melbourne, Noah Long pick 58, out Hugh Dixon, delisted, Tom Joyce delisted, Josh Kennedy retired, Zach Langdon delisted, Patrick Naish delisted, Jackson Nelson delisted, Jack Redden retired, and Junior Rioli to Port.
Sad when you see those outs, and probably half of them would be starting round 1 if they were still at the club.
Absolutely.
J.K. Wood, Jackson Nelson, for some reason, got games.
Why did they get rid of Zach Langdon?
Just not in the mix, I guess.
Yeah, right, okay.
Rioli would have got a game. Redden definitely would have got a game.
Yep, yeah.
That's not good.
Nah, so...
And you're looking like, obviously, Jimby probably gets a run and Hunt will be playing, but... Yeah, Kennedy's a massive out for them.
So what's your best 22 for this lot?
Old.
Yeah.
Shannon Hearn, Tom Barras, Tom Cole, Jaden Hunt, Jeremy McGovern, Liam Duggan, Andrew Gaff, Tim Kelly, Dom Sheed, Jarmaine Jones, Oscar Allen, Jamie Cripps.
Yep.
We've got Jake Waterman. Well, Jack Darling we think might be there.
Very nice.
And Ryan. Obviously, Natanui is out. Bailey Williams is out. Josh Rotham is out. Callum Jamison starting ruck. That's why I've got Waterman in the side. So you wouldn't be putting Oscar Allen in the ruck. No. So I think Jake Waterman's got to be the backup. So that's why he's in the side as well.
Yep.
So Shuey Yo, Dad's Army in there, minus Natanui.
Yep.
Then we got Jai Cully, Jimby, Witherden, and Greg Clark.
Yep, sure. Chuck him in.
He needs it. Well, mate, they got to play him. And they got to put him on the ball.
Yeah.
Like that granny for Subi dominated. Yeah. And Eagles bring him in. Where do you put him? On the wing. Let's put Andrew Gaff in the middle.
Yeah.
Let's put Xavier O'Neill. He's probably one that might get a game as well.
Yeah, just play Gaff where he plays.
Dad's Army, and I've got him. I've actually got him when I did my ladder that I don't have in front of me. I've actually got him a little higher than what I thought. So I got him like 14th.
Yeah, right. Wow.
So I've got him winning about 7.
Wow. Okay. Yep. No
so
worries.
Off the top, I had my bottom 4 was Saints, Essendon, North, GWS.
Yep.
Off the top of my head.
I've got him winning 5.
Yeah.
I agree with you. They're old. They are going to have.
Did you see today, Captain's Day, so all the captains go over to Melbourne?
Yeah.
Do you know who went over for Eagles?
It wasn't Liam Duggan. That's
so they're worried because Shuey's been sore. They didn't want to fly him over and back in one day because he has a practice match this week and they want to get him right for round 1.
Wow.
And he's the captain.
Yeah.
And Shannon Hearn's still going around.
Yeah.
And McGovern, Gaff and Kelly are on probably about $3 million between them this year.
Yeah. My issue with West Coast is that they're it's over here.
Spit it out, Scott. Spit it out, mate.
I was about to say that they're West Coast,
but that's just a given.
Yeah, they're over here and they can play over here. I guess that's probably why I've given them 5 wins.
Well, they lost to Adelaide last year over here, And Adelaide
But
were
apparently,
bad.
once again, apparently Adelaide are going to make the 8.
No, they're not.
Everyone's making the 8 according to. I'm listening to other people's.
Well, you listen to silly people.
Yeah, well.
You probably get into Twitter freaking deep dives and you get into the vortex and listen to Peanuts.
Yeah, well.
Conspiracy tinfoil hat theories.
Maybe that's who got my head about Sydney.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, so we both agree.
Mate, listen, if there's not some feedback about that, we're never going to get feedback.
So bottom 4, you think? Are you saying?
Just out. I've got them just out of the bottom 4.
Okay, I've got them bottom 2, but we'll see what happens. They're just not contenders for both of us, which is fair enough. Last thing we're going to do is the Western Bulldogs. Average age 25.4 years, ranked 2nd. Average games played 75.8, ranked 5th. To me, that is very good. In Oscar Baker, preseason sup. Jed Buslinger.
Looks a bit of a player, Buslinger.
13. He certainly does. Charlie Clark, pick 24. Harry Gallagher, pick 39. Liam Jones, free agent. Rory Lobb from Freo, out. Lewis Butler, delisted. Zane Cordy to the Saints. Josh Dunkley to Brisbane. Lockie Hunter to Melbourne for a steal, by the way.
He's had issues, though.
Yeah, gun footballer, though. Stephen Martin.
The mental health issues are tough.
Yeah.
And then obviously he's got a good horse as well.
Point. Stephen Martin retired. Charlie Parker delisted. Josh Shackey to Melbourne.
Shack attack.
And Mitch Wallace delisted. And he didn't get picked up by anyone, eh?
No.
That's interesting. Best 22, Novak. Who you got?
Well, on paper, this looks good. But here's my issue.
I like that you said that.
Yeah.
Because that's what I've gone off.
Yeah.
Continue.
But in reality, what's on paper isn't reality. Mm-hmm. So I got Ed Richards, I got Liam Jones, and I got Josh Bruce. Obviously, Ryan Gardner, bit of an out for them. You got Bailey Williams, Alex Keith, Bailey Dale.
Yep.
Got Oscar Baker on the wing. He looks like he's going to be a good player for them. They got from Melbourne. Jack McRae, Bailey Smith. Got Riley West, Norton, Jamari Ugle-Hagan. Cody Waitman, I think, is going to be right to play. Lobster and Sam Darcy.
Yep.
We got Timmy English, Bontempelli, Libba. We got Duray, but I think Duray hurt his neck, but I think he's okay. Yeah, so I think he's okay, so I've got him in. I got Joe Hannison, I got Toby McLean and Caleb. And I got Rourke Smith in the mix. Obviously, they got some injuries as well. Yeah. But look, they look good on paper. I'm not sold. They're very top heavy.
Yeah.
They've got obviously Darcy, Lobb, Norton, Ugle-Hagan. It's some very big boys down there.
Yeah.
Even in the back line, like Keith is big. They've got Liam Jones. Liam Jones did look good in that practice match. He looks like he's going to be a really good player for him.
Good intercept mark.
Yep. But I just like that final loss to Fremantle last year was not good. Yep. They had them on absolute toast.
Yep.
And I think Carlton improve, and I think they will jump them. I think Richmond improve, they will jump them.
Yep.
So if those two teams that go ahead of them, I've got them finishing 9th or 10th.
Yep. Fair enough.
Like, there's plenty to play with.
Yep.
Obviously, Beveridge needs to deliver this year as well because he's like, they made the granny 2 years ago and then they got knocked out first round this year.
Yep.
They're in the vortex for performance, but yeah, you know what? They could come out and blitz it and make me look like an ass.
Yep.
But I just don't see it working. They're talking about, they've got to look after Sam Darcy, like he's 208 centimetres. He's too small to play in the back line. Well, what the heck do you do with Liam Jones? What do you do with Keith? What do you do with Bruce? They've got a lot of big boys.
Does that not say depth?
No.
So you're playing
the depth
all of them?
Yeah, but they're all in because they have to.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So to me, I think, and what you said at the start, that's what I've gone off.
But a lot of teams look good on paper.
Yeah.
Even West Coast looks semi-half decent
probably why
on
I've
paper.
got, to me, West Coast do not look good on paper.
Well, they've still got all the experience there.
I just think the Dogs are a very skillful team. They might not be the quickest team. I mean, they got JJ running off the back.
And that's a concern for me because the game's changing to transition ball.
100%. JJ running off the back, if he gets back to his old self,
think he's done, mate.
He could possibly be. But skillfulness, Bont's going to spend, surely Bevo does not put Bont forward at all.
Where does he fit?
Yeah, just midfield. That's all he plays. That midfield's actually
he's
pretty
high.
good.
That's why he's high in my dream team, mate. I reckon he's going to play.
So that midfield's pretty good. You got the inside with Libba, Bont's skillfulness as well. You mentioned Oscar Baker. I agree. Good pickup. And if they can move the ball quickly with skill and kick it long, they've got tall timber down there.
That's the only way they can go. If they move it slow, they're screwed.
Yeah. So, but then I think their back line is solid enough. So you've got Liam Jones, Lockie Keefe back there.
Alex Keith.
Lockie Keefe used to play for
GWS.
And Collingwood.
No, Alex Keith's the ex-cricketer.
Yeah, that's right. Idiot.
Good research, Scott. Good research.
Well, hey, at least I got a guy that played AFL.
Exactly. He's still playing, mate. He's still playing.
Good. I just think their backline solid. I think their midfield, I know they've lost Dunkley, but I think
Dunkley and Hunter, mate.
Yeah, well, Hunter didn't really play last year, did he? So,
no.
But I know you've lost Dunkley, and this is going to sound stupid, but I think they can get better by losing Dunkley because they don't have to rotate as much. Bont can stay in the midfield more.
If you're playing a transition game and you're moving the ball fast, that's when you need your depth because your guys are going to be gassed.
Yeah, but
running more.
Not running fast, moving the ball fast. Different.
Yeah, but they've still got to be running fast, mate. It's a transition game.
Yeah, fair call. Well, I have them. They finished 8th, right?
7th maybe because Fremantle was 6th verse. Oh no, they were 5th verse 8th.
No, yeah, because they were out.
Yeah. They got in.
It was dependent on the Carlton
Collingwood
game, so they finished 8th.
Yeah.
So I've got them 8th, 7th, 8th. So,
so
9th,
I've
10th,
as I said,
12th.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, I've got Carlton jumping them.
Yeah.
And I've got Richmond jumping them as well. I've got Richmond playing finals this year.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I've got them out.
Yeah. All right, that's cool. So that's it. That's everyone done.
This time next week, we will have our first winner of the year.
Yep, and we will have our ladders next week because I'm going to give you time to get your shit
together. I
together.
had it on email because we've got our footy tipping comp, and I did send it to myself, and I think I put it in my junk items. I didn't move it to my proper folder, and I cannot find it to save myself.
Oh, well, that's fine. Next week it is. I'll make a note here of ladders next week. Now, we have our fantasy team out. I put it on Twitter today, a photo of our whole team. It took me a while to figure out how to do that. People were putting it on Twitter, and I was like, how the hell are you doing that?
Because rule number 1, when you've got a private league, you got to actually make it private.
Well, yeah, that was a stupid call by me.
Jesus Christ. This is what I'm dealing with, listeners. Like amateur hour every week. First thing he goes, do you know any of these guys? We had Chong Bong Wow from Vietnam in a team. He's like, do you know this guy? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm like, have you put the league on private? He goes, oh, no. I'm like, well, there you go.
Oh, this is my first time creating a league, so leave me alone. A reminder.
Do better.
If you want to join our league and win a friendship, remember a friendship for new listeners is a friend of the podcast. We're going to have a party at the end of the year. You can drink some bong beer.
If there's any left after I have a funnel next week.
And where you give out a friendship for the people who finish in the top 4 in our league.
You sure it's not a ship?
No, it's not a ship. I tell you, that's the dumbest idea. Do you know how much that would cost us as well in ships? And then who's putting them together? I thought about this the other day because I was talking to my wife about this.
Well, you and your kid can do some Lego, can't you?
No, he's way too young for that. He'll swallow it.
True. Don't do that with your kids. Sorry. So actually, no kids. Don't know about kids.
Get your pens and paper out or press pause for a second. Get a pen. Write this down. This is our code. 977D for dog. 6, M for money, X for xylophone, and C for century. 977D 6MXC. That is the code for our fantasy
Or
league.
just go to Twitter. It's up there.
Yeah, but if you don't have Twitter,
put it on Instagram.
Yeah, and I need to start a Facebook page because we're old. So anyway, there is much to discuss.
Deep breath, Scott. Deep breath.
There is much to discuss. Hold on a second. There we go. There's much to discuss with this.
They're ready to go.
Oh, is there?
Racing.
On the outside is trying hard. It's Weeks in front. Jubinor's coming at her. Weeks is holding on. The Great Bear completes the Great Bear.
Here he comes. Chautauqua. Boom, right over the top. Chautauqua takes out the TJ.
Now, you want me to take over? Because Cylinder won.
Well, that Chautauqua replay just reminded me of Imperatas and Artorias. So I've been with Artorias many a time. The horse hadn't won for, over 2 years. Zach Purton came down from Hong Kong to take some rides, and he schooled them. He won both the Group 1s in Sydney. So we were saying last week we were heavy on J Carr, heavy on J Mac, and heavy on W Pike. They could have 10 to 12 winners. And they got 5 between them, so Carr didn't have a great day. J Mac had a stinker. J Mac went out and got a suspension yesterday, so he's off Cylinder and he's off Animo and the Golden Slipper. And
what did he do?
He just interference in a race, so he's got to appeal that. But yeah, it was still up. Thank God for Sunday. And I know I can't give out Sunday tips, but Pike was back in the good books on Sunday, lifting Soviet Spy in the Cup. That was very helpful. We really got around that one at the pub.
That was a good win.
Yep,
I enjoyed that.
Yep. That was some good voice at the pub. There was, about 20 of us there, and we were getting around it, so that was good. Pity there wasn't enough on.
No. So we didn't have enough to put on.
No, very true, very true. But look, we'll move on to this week. There's plenty to go through. There's, I think, 2 Group 1s, 4 Group 2s, 6 Group 3s. There's plenty. There's listed racing at Ascot on Saturday and Sunday. So I'll try and keep this as quick as possible, listeners.
Yeah, because you need to hurry up because everyone's waiting for the pyramid. Not the pyramid bet, the profits tips. They don't want to hear the pyramid.
The profits. So we got CUNY Stakes. We got Group 2 in Melbourne. Look, tough race. Shuffle Dance is the $3 favourite. It's a tough race. If I was having a bet, Shuffle Dancer would be it. So I won't go into too much detail in some of these because there's so many to go. Race 4, Flemington, is the size produce for the 2-year-olds. So, look, not one I really want to play with, not all over the form. So we'll move on from that one. Let me just over my page. Oh, here we go. The next one after that is we've got a few of the WA representatives. So we've got, in the Matron Stakes, we've got Inspirational Girl for old mate Bob, who's still got enough cash to splash out for a $460,000 during the week. But
I wish I had that.
Oh, mate, you don't want to be Bob. Let's be serious. You got El Patroness, Inspo Girl, Barb Raider, Ex-Salita, Shrilio Miss. Like, that's another really even race, so I'm moving on from that too.
Nothing there.
You got the Australian Cup Prelude, race 6. You got Melbourne Cup winner Van de Clare. You got Bruce Almighty, Conqueror Maricino going over, so it's exciting for Lou Luch and my man, TT. TT's been very good to me lately, Troy Turner, so hopefully it goes well for them. You've got Regal Power for Bob, and you've got Right You Are, who's the up-and-comer, so that's actually a really good race, but not really one I want to play with, so hopefully Maricino can go well there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we tune in to the best race of the day. So this is what is commonly known as the Melbourne Cup for the sprinters. So it's the Newmarket Handicap, so handicap conditions much like the Melbourne Cup. You get the best sprinters going around, and obviously the younger horses get well looked after at the weights. The established stars, the real good horses carry the weights. So we got in the market, we got I Wish I Win, who obviously one of ours was really good first up, over 1,000. It's 440. Favourite, we've got In Secret, which has been splonked. So that's for J Carr Cummings, so that's 440 as well. We've got Lofty Strike, one of the 3-year-olds, so 52.5 for Julius Sandu, or as we like to call him, Garinda. So Garinda's good on Garinda. He's a very, very bit of a loose unit, Garinda, so good on him. We got Private Eye, who's I'm leaning that way, but we're going from there, 750. You've got stacks. You've got Buenos Noches, 12. You've got good horses in Star Patrol, Chains of Lightning, Astrologist, September Run, Bella Nipotina, Rockin' Horse, Marzu. It's an absolute bottler of a race. So I'm siding with Private Eye, personally. 750 and 260 is a good bet for me. It's 5 starts the distance, 3 wins and a second. It's track and distance 1 and 1. Jockey and horse, 8 starts, 4 wins, 2 seconds. First up, 5 starts, 3 wins and a third. Obviously, top weight, 50, I think it's 58. It's a lot. Barrier 2 as well, so you got to hope the inside's playing well, but it normally drops back. So Avdallah, the gun, and mate, it last prep, it started like an absolute house on fire, and it was absolutely flying. And it came back, like, was racing, look, it can go from anywhere from 12 to 1,600, but it had ran second to Giga Kick in the Everest. Then it won up the straight against Marzu. And then it went to 1,600 in the Champions Day. Didn't really come up. Like Alligator Blood beat it. But it's had 3 trials. It's primed. It's ready to go. I'm with it. Obviously, I really wanted to be with I Wish I Win, but it's not really well in at the weights.
Yep.
It's like only like 1.5 kilos off Private Eye. Private Eye's multiple Group 1 winner. The other chances, Buenos Notches and In Secret down the bottom, 3-year-olds, like 51.5, 50.5, definite chances.
Good each way bet anyway.
So I like that. So like, I'm with it as well. We're going to go to Sydney now.
Yep.
There's plenty of races in Sydney. There's heaps, but we're going to tune in to race 6 where we've got the Far Lap Stakes. We've got what I think, that's not great value, but it's best of the day. So it was nominated for the Coolmore, which was the Group 1, which we're going to talk about in a sec. It's coming back to a Group 2.
Yep.
Zoo Got You. So Zoo Got You, last prep, very, very good. Like, its form is really good on the wet tracks. It's a good track at the moment. So it's a slight concern, but I think class gets it over the line. Like, last prep, it was beating Madame Pomeroy. It came out and won the Guineas. It's beat She's Extreme. It came out and won the Derby. First up, it was in the In Secret race, and it pulled out, and it's 0.3 fourth. Like, it was right in the mix. And those horses, like In Secret's now in the Newmarket, and this is running like a Group 3, and it finished right next to it.
Yep. All right.
Like, you got good horses in the race, though. You got Fireburn, it's the slipper winner. You got Glenna Silver. You got Madame Pomeroy for Pikey. So, look, I just think it stands out. It's very good. And I think it's going to win much better races than this. So that's why I'm with it.
Yeah, cool.
We go over to race 9, the Ajax Stakes Group 2. This is for the older horses, so there's lots going on here. So me and one of the friends of the podcast, Roscoe, we had Waterford penciled in as our early Doncaster Stakes winner at $26. First up, absolute stinker.
Yeah.
Ran 5th, didn't do well, so that didn't really help us. And then it was nom to run last Friday at Newcastle, didn't accept. So we really want to see something out of it. It's 380.
Yeah.
We also got Ascension for Pikey. Pikey's actually overriding She's a Belter, who's in the Group 1 coming up. So he's got actually a good book. And we've got Sabac at 5s. Bandersnatch, that horse hurts my heart, that horse. Form reads 32003. Do you know when I've been on? 3-2 and the 3. Oh. Just hurts my heart. Caulfield Cup Day, we were out there at the track. It was in the last, and it looked home, and it was the biggest nutting of a photo you've ever seen in your life.
Worse than our Mooncliff?
It was worse than our Mooncliff.
Oh, my God.
But the caller didn't call it winning. Matty Hill stayed out.
Okay.
Look, now I've just lost myself. That really upset me. But we go to the big race, so Coolmore. So this is 1,500 metres.
Wait, did you have anyone at race 9 or not? No one at race 9.
No.
Cool. All right.
So we're going to this race, the Coolmore 1,500 Group 1 at Rose Hill. This is stacked. So we got Hinged, $8. Anavisto, $5.50. Hope in Your Heart, $7.50. We've got Ruthless Dame, $7.50. She's a Belter for Pikey and the WA boys, $11. Yearning, $10. Espiona, $8.50. Torregine, $17. Really, really good race. So obviously, this is a ratings race. So again, I sort of lean to the best horse. The barrier puts me off. Barrier 12. J-Mac needs to do better. But first up, Hinged, 1,400 metres, 0.8 off Animo.
Good.
Like, for this race, that's solid.
Animo's
Last start, it ran 3.2 off Animo.
Yep.
But, look, 1,600, probably not 100% its go. When you look at the stats, like, it's not great at the track. Not 2 starts for a third. Distance, 3 starts for a third. But third up, it's had 4 starts for a win, a second, and 2 thirds.
Yep.
It's the best horse, best jockey, best trainer. Anavisto is definitely a danger, but it's got barrier 16. So that put me off it a bit. It will normally have to work to go to the front.
Yep.
Hope in Your Heart, first up. Obviously, you compare running 0.8 off Animo. Hope in Your Heart was in an open class that beat Larkspur run by 0.8.
Yeah.
I just think Hinged is the best horse.
Yeah, got to go.
I'm sticking
Animo
with it.
Form. Yep.
Yeah, look, it's a good race. It's a Group 1. They're always hard to win. I would have liked a little bit more sting in the ground, but we know it's Sydney. Things change there rapidly. So, I'm leaning with Hinged as the each way.
Yep.
Now we're over to Ascot. So we've got Bunbury Cup and Bunbury Stakes Day at Ascot because the Bunbury track is still in redevelopment.
Cooked. Is it looking like the MCG is currently now?
It's probably looking worse than the MCG right now, which is saying, mate.
Yeah,
I think the MCG might need some of those Indian curators to come out and fix the pitch for them. But we're running the Bunbury Stakes, so we've got favourite 420 Burn You to Survive. We've got Creative $5, Halatorium $5. You've got Last of the Line $7, $9 Titan Blinders, $9 MTA, $14 Buzzoon.
Yeah.
Really tough race. So Burn You to Survive is one of my faves.
Yep.
It's really one of mine. It's had some issues, had some time off on the last start. We got the 9 minutes before the race notification that a bar shoe came on. So basically, for people that don't know what a bar shoe is, so horses get abscesses in their feet.
Oh, boy.
So it's like a blister, but worse. Yeah. And the bar shoe is basically a padding to cover their feet when they run.
Yeah, right.
So you're basically a horse that's not 100% and you're running.
Yeah.
Bar shoes are automatically a no-go.
Yeah.
And the Einsteins over at Rawat got that out over social media 9 minutes before the race. So after 100,000 has been invested. Yeah, and it ran third.
Yeah.
Didn't look right, but it ran well.
Yeah.
But that was, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It's a concern. Creator was a really, really good run last start. It looked like there was a bit of team riding there from the Ganjimis.
Yeah.
They had Titan Blinders going hell for leather, and Creator was out the back, and Creator was steaming home, and it just missed Hot Z. So CJP has chosen to ride it, so that's probably a good guide.
Yep.
Halatorian, Pike off, Holly Watson on. You probably won't normally think that's a bad thing. This is a good thing.
Okay.
Holly rides this horse. She rides it really well.
Yeah.
It's going really, really well. It's obviously in the mix. It's a tough race, to be honest. Like Last of the Line, second up as it goes, so we'll watch for it, put it in the black book, watch for it next start. Tough race, probably one I'm not going to play personally. I'd have Creator on top if there was gun to my head, but happy to stay out.
Yep.
Now we go over to the main race today. So we got Bunbury Cup.
Yep.
At Ascot.
There's one horse that surely wins this race.
Well, yeah. So we've got Casino 17. So obviously we were talking through.
Talking about it.
We were talking through Casino 17 a few weeks ago.
Stupid thing.
And Taj came on, and as I told you, that wasn't the day. Obviously, Pike's over in Sydney.
Yeah.
Pontiff is doing what Pontiff does. He comes and goes as he pleases these days.
Yep.
So Chris Parnham's on. So
better jockey. Yeah.
$2.35 into $2.
Yep.
Moral.
Oh my! No.
Absolute moral.
If anybody can lay a bet,
absolute moral.
Oh my God.
Like, this is weak.
Okay.
This is a really, really weak race. We'll put it this way. No Apologies 350.
Yeah.
It's the only other thing in the race that has good form at the moment. Like Nerf Bosk ran right next to Bruce last start. True Attraction's going terrible. Black Shadow's one that I reckon it can run top 3.
Yep.
Utgard Loki runs one good race out of every 4. Then you got Come Right Back's going terrible. Blazing Away up in class. Bruce up in trip, and General Grant isn't going well.
I believe in Bruce.
Well, look, he's going well. He's been running on well, riding him back since Steve Parnham's got on board. Obviously, Chris has chosen not to ride him this prep, which is fine, but he's been the go-to for ages. So Steve's actually doing quite well with him. Data, I'm not a big Data player. Fastest last 600 last 2 races. But as we said last start, he was out the back, and Maricino was off and gone. Hopefully, we haven't drawn the outside barrier, which is a win. So 7's not the best, but look, 7 out of 10.
Yep.
Like, if he can slot in, hopefully he can run top 4.
Sneaky each way, maybe.
Well, it's just you don't know. Like, first start, like 1800s as far as he's run now, he's up 300 metres. So
okay.
I'll be out there. I'll be getting hammered. So let's hope he runs well. If you're out there, come say hello.
Yep. Is that it?
Well, no.
Okay.
Because Sunday, as I said, I've been telling you Sundays where I've been doing my best work for about the last 3 weeks.
Yep.
And we've finally got some markets out for a Sunday because normally the markets don't come out till Saturday.
Yep.
So we've got some big races on Sunday. We've got the 3-year-old features coming up to the Derby and the Oaks. We got the Roberts for the boys. We got Playhouse Patron $4, Demolish $5, another Chino $6.50, and then a myriad of others. Bob's got a few. Harrow's got a few. Parnham's got a few. Playhouse Patron is building. It was huge last start. It was absolutely steaming home. So it's 1 from 13. You think that's not ideal. A lot of those races aren't at suitable distances. So it's out to the 1800 now. Its win was over 1700 metres. Last start it ran 3rd behind All the King's Men and Demolish. It was huge. It was steaming home. So obviously Demolish is in the mix. It's the danger. Planet Cash $9 for Ballantine. So He's one I normally steer clear of, but barrier 14, Lucy on, it's actually going quite well as well. So that's quite a good race. But the big race, the Natasha 2200, my girl goes around again. So outside barrier 12, which is a real concern, but Admiration Express, obviously last start it had the better barrier, right outside the leader, but this is a weak race. So she's fit, $6. Linden Lady, $6. It's $15 the rest.
Yep.
So it's $1.65. Just wins.
Low.
Best of the weekend. Barrier 12 is a concern, but Lucy just fired out. I mean, you saw last start, what it did last start.
Absolutely.
It's one of my faves. I'm confident.
Good horse.
Get it in.
All right. Done?
So summary, I'll give you just a quick summary because there was a lot in there. And just quickly last week, Manzois actually ran on quite well for the Derby. Prep. It was out the back and it steamed home.
Yep.
But I've got a bit of a around the ground sort of tips that I'll give you. So obviously Admiration Express on the Sunday. So that's Ascot Sunday.
Yep.
Race 8, number 1.
Yep.
I've got Saturday. I've got Flemington. I've got race 2, What You Need.
Yep.
We've got Saturday, Rose Hill, race 6, number 7, Zoo Got You.
Yep.
And then we've got Ascot, Saturday, race 8, number 6, Casino 17.
Cool.
Maddie for the day. Last week was my Manzois theory.
Yep.
I've got one for Pikey in race 7 at Rose Hill. Allegron last prep put in some really good runs, and it just flattened itself a bit towards the end of the prep.
Yep.
So it's first up, one of these first up stayers over a shorter trip that can run on. First up, it's 5 starts for a win, distance 2 starts for a win. It's currently $37.
Wow,
Likes the good track. I just think it's a pretty even race.
Yep.
A lot of stayers working their way up to the Sydney Cup. Could be worth just a little sneaky tippet.
Good. That's what we want. A $37
Sorry that went on a bit too much.
Everything comes good if that $37.
Well, there was a lot to go through there, and obviously I missed a lot. So hopefully I've at least got one winner there, so I don't have to have a risky business bong beer funnel.
Got a lot of stuff written down here. I'm going to fire through mine in a minute from the Prophet, because the first one he sent me, he then sent me when I was on the way here saying it's been scratched. So I've got 4 altogether, 2 of them with stuff, and he was like, this has been scratched, but here's another 2. It'll make sense soon. Anyway.
The Prophet sounds like he's had a bong beer.
Yes. Rose Hill, race 4, number 6, Steel City, 3:30.
Yep, like it.
Yep. Form from 2 Sydney runs is very good. 1200 is a question mark, has ability.
Well, in the Blue Diamond, that was the favourite, and it was bolting behind the leader.
Yeah.
And it was a horror show.
Excellent.
Could not get a run.
That's what I like to hear. Then
Scott Brown tips horror show? Yes, that's what normally happens.
Then, as you were describing this horse, I just started going, oh, this is classic. Ascot race 7, number 5, Burn You to Survive. Tough race. Market last race suggested needed a run, but clearly suggested something else, which which the Prophet didn't know. From that run, reckon 1400 is a tick, has class, so hopefully that can help.
It definitely does. And look, as I said, it's one of mine. I like it. But Barshu's problems, like I was on first up and second up, and I was actually on third up, but I knew my money was confetti when 9 minutes before the race, Barshu won and ran accordingly.
Not help. And
it's
then
very upsetting.
I've got nothing here besides race. So this must be Flemington. Race 1, number 4, Shock 'em Over. I'm hoping that's Flemington. I think it is.
Can't
Give me 2
say
seconds.
I did race 1.
Hold on.
Yeah, it is.
Yep,
It is.
cool. That's all I've got because these were the late ones.
Yep.
And then I know this one was Flemington. Race 3, number 7, Papillon Club. $7, $2.20 the place.
Papillon Club.
Yep.
Yep. The only other couple I might mention, because obviously Pike's not here, so we can't just rattle off stacks, but if we're going Casino 17's a moral, Let's Deal beat Casino 17 last start, and it's running race 5 Ascot, so it's 205. So if I'm thinking Casino 17's a moral and this horse beat it, that's got to be decent form, right?
Yep. All Well, we've given you something to go out.
Giving you lots.
We're giving you something to go out and bet against. So
yeah, we sure have.
If you want something real major to bet against, then let's do this.
Pyramid.
All right. It's that time where...
Well, do you want me just to go first? So I can get in. So I can get in and just get what I think. So I'm floating breakers.
Yeah.
So plus 7.5 is $1.60. Plus 9.5 is $1.45. I've got that many horse tips that I like. If I pinpoint one, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm putting breakers out there.
All right.
Walton Jr. injured. Cook's injured.
Yep.
That's just me. I'm done. The floor is yours. $1.20 pops. Here we come.
So that was that's
Friday night.
That's tomorrow night's game, or when everyone's listening to it.
4:30.
That night's game.
Friday.
All right. I've done a little bit of research on
Finally
some NRL.
Oh no.
I'm going back to the well.
Have you done the weather check?
I have.
You've done the weather check? So when the money's on, you don't do the weather check and it costs us, and now you're doing the weather check. Well, at least you're learning. I'll give you that. Well done.
So Melbourne Storm, Canterbury Bulldogs.
Oh, we might have to get the Melbourne Storm mail from friend of the podcast, Macca.
That will be handy.
I'll hit him up tomorrow.
So this is...
Question mark moral?
Yeah. So I'm going to go total points, though.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm going to go over...
This is areas I don't like betting in.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over 35.5, which is $1.50. Now, the stats I've got...
Where's the game?
It's in Melbourne.
Who are they playing?
Canterbury.
Okay.
So the predicted score I've got here is 24-19.
Is this from the profit as well?
No, this is from Stats Insider.
Okay.
It also goes back to previous games. Total points
so
are like
you've
42.
Actually done some research for the first time
42, 41. So matches between these two are usually high scoring.
Yeah.
So,
just before you go on, we forgot to mention the Dolphins absolutely gave it to my boys, the Roosters, when we were at the pub.
That's the podcast team, the Dolphins.
So let me tell you something first.
Yep.
Manly absolutely fisted Canterbury last week. They beat them by 25 points.
So how many points did Canterbury score?
Not many.
Okay.
You put me on the spot here, Scott. Jesus.
Well, I know the Storm only scored like 16 because remember that we were here watching it.
Yeah.
So that's all right. Some mail from friend of the podcast.
I'll find it.
Will help. Are we too much dead air here?
No, you keep talking, mate. I'm just looking for the scores from last week.
So I just think that was a good bet. I did some research finally, and they're saying over 39.5 was a good bet.
Okay.
At $1.90, I've bought it down to 35.5 at $1.50.
Yeah. So
that's what I'm thinking.
Sea Eagles 31, Bulldogs 6.
Okay.
That does not look good for Bulldogs scoring many points.
No. Oh, that's all right. We'll discuss.
Any John Rahm bet, Scott?
I didn't mind the Breakers bet that you bought, but I'll think about it. I'll decide it. We'll put it on Twitter as we usually do. Whatever we put on Twitter, please bet against it.
No. What we need Milko. Send in your tips, Milko. And you know what? Other people, we need your tips. We need your jokes. We definitely need your rorts.
Yep.
And we need your morals.
Come on, people. If you want a friendship, this is the only way you
Dundalk actually got up, but I think we've we've had enough of them. They haven't tuned in again.
Nah, if they tune back in, we're back on. Anyway, there's one place that the pyramid could go. That's here.
Look at all this fucking... Who's putting all this in the bin? How many portions are you putting in there? How much is in the bin? Look! What the fuck is this?
Still one of the greatest intros you'll ever hear on a podcast. Feedback for you, especially to when talking about Todd Blanchfield, you've started sounding like Gordon Ramsay. So, anyway, this is all you.
Look, Todd, do better, Todd. Do better.
There you go. You've got
all right, I'll try and race through this. So, firstly in the bin, Trent Cotchin.
Yep.
Absolute grub. On-field, grub. Off-field, thinks he's God's gift. Him and his wife, COVID protocols. Wah, please. So another forearm to the head in the practice match. He's been doing it for years, sniping people behind play, hitting people with forearms for the head when they're on the ground.
Yep.
So I did a bit of research. So he's the cheap shot king. So he's had 11 tribunal appearances and he's had $17,500 worth of fines.
Jesus.
1 suspension, 4 weeks for charging. He got off a striking when he gave Dylan Shill a concussion and put him out of the game in the prelim.
Yeah.
And
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, and he's literally a protected species.
Yep.
Like, in the bin,
Yeah.
Cochin.
Yeah.
Do better.
Yeah.
Like, this is meant to be your glory years, your career. You've won all your flags. Why are you going around elbowing people in the head in a scratch match?
Yeah.
Peanuts.
Stupid.
In the bin.
Old angry man.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, if you see his wife on socials, Jesus Christ, it's freaking Brittany Mahomes territory. All right, this is a group in the bin. St Kilda, Ross Lyons, and the St Kilda IT guy in the bin. For those at home that didn't see what happened. So normally in practice matches, the teams have media uploaded for them. For some reason this round, they had to do it themselves. Old mate Dropbox was involved again. When I say Dropbox, actually uploading voices or audio to Dropbox for the AFL, it went out to everyone.
Good.
St Kilda IT guy puts out the data for the game, and they've got old mate Ross.
Nothing to hide.
Old mate Ross is back at it. Ross in the bin. He's out there dropping F-bombs, swearing his box off, absolutely defaming.
You don't want a coach to swear.
Defaming the opposition, Ross. Haven't you learned enough at your time at St Kilda? Why did you get walked out of Freo? In the bin, Ross. And you blame the IT guy.
Well,
Some poor IT guy on $60,000 a year. You've just named and shamed him in the media. Some guy on LinkedIn is going to have St Kilda IT guy and he's going to get abuse. Do better, St Kilda.
Don't do a send-all.
That's what a Dropbox is. You drop the media in and everyone has access to it, can view it, Scott.
All right, you got 30 seconds.
Let's got more.
Go. Come on.
Perth Mint.
Yeah.
In the bin. WTF. For those playing at home, Perth Mint, 2019, diluted their gold bullion they were sending to China. Sending to China. 9 billion. 9 billion.
Probably the one country you don't want to do that.
No shit. Xi Jinping will ping a missile to Perth and blow us all up.
Pretty sure that guy joined our fantasy.
Oh, that's Long Bong Chow.
Oh, sorry.
You're sending 9 billion off to China. Who was in charge of the treasury? McGowan. You're going to get Xi Jinping to ping us with a missile. Yeah. Do better. And Ja Morant in the bin. I'll just say, Ja Morant in the bin. What the fuck are you doing with yourself, mate? Yeah. Please.
No comment on that. Good. I like that.
Xi Jinping a missile?
That was pretty good. That was funny. Speaking of funny, here we go. This is the time where I make you piss yourself laughing.
Well, you've made me chortle about once.
So we got some jokes here. So Novak, you're gonna start.
No, phone a joke this week?
No, still nothing. So
okay.
I got to hit some more people up. But I got people telling me jokes. Might record it for me.
I know. There's no point all our mates telling us jokes at the pub. We're like, well, we're not live from the pub.
Yeah, record and send it in. What do you got?
All right, bear with me this one.
Okay.
And my handwriting really gets worse the longer I've been doing this. All right. So we got old mate Billy. Oh, here we go.
Oh, God. Good stuff.
I ran out of, I said I ran out of page, so now I'm reading the wrong bit. So Kid was at home. He walks down the hallway in his house. He hears some noises coming from his parents' room. He walks in, sees the dad, arseless chaps, mum, cheerleading uniform. They're going at it. They're in the buff, going hot and heavy. He gets up. He goes, Dad, what the heck's going on? Here he goes. Son, don't worry about it, son. Go to bed. I'll come tuck you in 20 minutes. Just calm down. I'll be there soon. Old man finishes up. 20 minutes goes by, he's walking down the hall, and he goes, where the heck's Billy? His mum or his grandma's staying over, right, help with the cooking. He's screaming from the room. walks in, and Billy's going to town on Grandma. And he's like, son, what are you doing? Why are you having sex with your grandma? He goes, it's not so funny when it's your mum, is it?
Yeah. I have heard that joke. It's still pretty good. It's actually pretty good.
It's not bad.
And I
Cost, old mate Cost from the gym liked it a bit more than you did.
Well, hopefully the listeners like that, because I reckon I know where you got that.
Where do you reckon I got it from?
I reckon you got it off Twitter from a thingy from... Is it not the sign? The Curb Your Enthusiasm? Yeah.
Not bad.
You want to hear a joke?
Yeah, it's actually good. He obviously delivered it. It's stack low better than I did.
Yeah, it was very good. It was.
Might have to retweet that one.
All right. Here's mine. Let's see how we go here. Ready? All right. If I got a cricket ball in one hand and a cricket ball in the other hand, what have I got? I've got a pretty big cricket.
Jesus Christ, no, mate.
That's
all right.
That was good.
It's all right.
Very good.
It's all right.
Good. I said that one. I had a few, and I was saying it to my wife before we came here, and the little man was eating dinner, and I said that one, and she started laughing, and he started going, I was like, yep, good. That's the one. Loves it. So
oh, wow.
he pretty much got the same reaction as you.
Well, yeah, poor Wes has got a long road ahead, the poor kid.
He does. Anyway, that's us done. Good. Hey, we're under an hour and 20. That's good. We've knocked off 10 from last week.
That's good.
We're slowly getting there. But I'm excited for next week. I'm very excited
Footy's
for next
back,
week.
ladies
Footy's
and
back
gentlemen.
next week. NBL will be finished. It'll be mainly footy.
Well, we've got one more
with some
week of
racing.
NBL recap, and then when the NBL's done.
Hopefully that's just
Breakers.
New Zealand have won. Well
Yeah.
done. They smashed
Hopefully there's some winners, because I don't want a bloody bong beer risky business double funnel. That might be the end of me.
Well, let us pray. Anyway, good. We got through a bit. Join our fantasy team as well.
It'll be
our
on
fantasy
Twitter.
league. We'll chuck it on Twitter. Anyway, we'll see you later, Novak. Have a good week.
See you, mate.
Enjoy that bong beer.